Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the ChairQAsition, where we do some much needed quality assurance that probably should have been done in the first place. The victim this week is Dimension Drive. It's bullet hell. What is it? The intense space shoot 'em up challenge. You fight across two battlefields. One split screen. Yes, that is correct. Play solo or turn it up to 11 with local co-op. Nope. This is going to be something. This is developed by two awesome studios. It is Unity. All right. What is it going to run you? £9, 12 US wet stinky, 13 Canadian, or $16.99 dollary dues. It is a thing. So, how do we do this business? Well, we have a very, very scientific, highly accurate, pure math system known as the ChairQAsition. One chair means that it's junk. 2 is a passing score. Technically 3, better than average. It might be worth checking out. 4, everything's perfect, and you probably will need some ponies if we're going to see that. Now, we're going to rank everything with our categories of doom. Does it work? Mixed with the working. How pretty is it? How does it sound? Shiny and sounds. Can you fucking move shit on the screen? Controls. And just to keep things interesting, that final category is subjective. It is fun. So, lads, let's start this off. 3 different Linux boxes running 3 different distributions, 3 hardware configurations. As the developer behind Steven's Sausage Roll said, literal witches. I'll just go ahead and kick this off. Ubuntu 17.10, kernel 4.14.6, whatever it is this week. Really no big issues out of the box, man. I'm running this with a 980 Ryzen 7, so at 1080p, 200 plus frames per second. That's what you would expect to get at UHD 2160, over 100, running swimmingly. Foxy had the same issues you did when it starts. It says, press to skip video, to which you may retort, what fucking video? So that's the thing. B button does not work on the Steam controller. Foxy, similar experiences?
Yeah, somewhat. Over here on OpenSUSE 42.3 with a GTX 950. Yeah, very much the same. Not sure on the exact frame rates, but I think they were hovering around 100 at 1080p. Yep, the starting video was just black screen, going, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. And it said press start to continue, even though I did not have a controller plugged in. Pedro?
What operating system were you running on?
OpenSUSE 42.3.
Okay, got it.
I said that.
I just want to make sure.
So, yeah, over here on Ubuntu 16.04, running the 4.14 kernel because, I gave up on waiting for the Zen people to actually get the 4.14 Zen kernel out. So I'm just running the whatever it is upstream right now. On the NVIDIA 387 drivers, I can't remember the subversion, but yeah, it ran absolutely no issues except for the 2 that Ven and Foxy already mentioned, which was, what video intro? Really? It's a start button, yes, but I don't see the video. And when I was trying to navigate the menus, the first thing I do whenever I start a game, I go into the options, configure all the things, maybe change some controls around, and then I tried to hit the B button to go back, and it wouldn't work.
B button doesn't work.
I even went into what's it called? Big picture mode, and I tried to rebind the B button into another button to see if it would work then. Nope. So yeah, no, something's off here.
I'll tell you what's off is several days ago, like Tuesday, I contacted the developers and I said, yo, B button doesn't work with Steam controller. This is an issue. Maybe you might want to fix it. Like, yeah, we think that's an issue with Steam and a recent update. To which I wrote back, bullshit. They didn't get back to me on that. So I'm coming out with 3 on this. You know, I can overlook the B button not working because it works in-game proper. I can overlook a blank video that I'm going to skip over anyway. Foxy, little less lenient, man. You're going to give it 2 chairs with that. And Pedro, rocking out with 3. So
I'm going to give it 3.
So that's 2. So that means that it technically launches and it is playable. So, shiny and sounds. Pedro, hit me in 3 minutes.
Okay. Honestly, not blown away. It looks exactly what you'd expect for a bullet hell shmup type thing where you control a spaceship and you're going up a vertical plane. It really doesn't really stand out. Well, the ship stands out because it doesn't really fit with the rest of the maps, because you can tell that the background as it's scrolling along, it is very, very well drawn-ish 2D art, but the ship is in full 3D, and it sticks out for miles. The pew-pews, they sound, technically, they're very uninteresting, and they kind of overstay their welcome when you're restarting a level for like the 5th time. And yeah, no, you pair all of that with the intro video and the crappy cartoon art. That's not very good. I didn't like it.
Foxy.
Well, for me, the screen was just way too small. It looks the pretties, I'll give it that. But it was just too small. It just couldn't figure out where things were. It was just too quick. Just not enough room. And when you pile in all these objects that are coming in and you can't see to really tell the difference between the foreground and the background, well, that things would get really nasty. The sounds, they sound pew-pew. The music, I kind of dug, but didn't really fit the situation, because in shooters, the music is supposed to excite you, get your blood pumping and all that. It sounds like they just handed the music guys some screenshots, say, hey, make music for this, rather than an actual moving thing. So, man, the music I found kind of Tron Legacy-ish, with a lot of the old synthesizer stuff, but apart from that, looks nice, sounds okay, but nothing out of the ordinary to say here.
Well, that's the thing, man. You know, I'm personally convinced that there's one person who does all the 2D art, you know, the intermission bullshit and the people talking for like 90% of the lower budget indie games, and they can't draw. I mean, I've seen your protagonist, the lady I've seen her like 6 times in different games, and it's not asset flips, it's the same person, but that's a little irritating. Character blindness is not really an issue. I think that's a good thing that the ship is 3D, because you never lose track of the ship. What you fucking lose track of is things that you can fly over or fly into. That's something you got to learn the hard way more often than not. Some of the art, storyboard art, I like that. Some of that business looks like straight up concept art that was never finished and just thrown into the game. In game, I think the game looks all right. It looks good. I don't have any complaints there. It's a shmup. Okay, I've seen a lot worse. Coming from a small team, yeah, okay, I can dig that. I got to say solid 3, because I also dug the background music. I didn't jam out to it. I'm not going to bug them to, oh man, can I get that so I can listen to it when I'm driving around? No. I also agree with Pedro just a little bit. It does get repetitive for the 15th time when you're trying to get that A level. So, again, shiny and sounds, serviceable, not
2
great.
2 chairs for me.
Straight 2 chairs for our total. Now, we got to talk about controls, because this is very important in a shmup. Very quick. Again, B button doesn't work in the menus. I can overlook it because it works in game. Everything else with the Steam controller, out of the box, not an issue. Most importantly, controls, they are tight. They are not sloppy. You're not at any point feeling, at least on my end, that I was compensating, I guess I would say. It's not perfect. I'm still going to ding you, chair, because the B button kind of pisses me off, and I'm making a point.
Yep.
Pedro?
Yeah, no, what the hell happened with the B button? How did you cock that up? That said, though, like Van already mentioned, the B button does work in-game when you unlock that ability. But you really did cock up basic functionality of your game when the B button, the button that you usually use to go back in the menu, doesn't work. I can still give it 3 chairs for my bit of this control score, since I'm fully aware that just how terrible I am, and you can see that happening right now. I'm aware that that's my fault. It's not the fault of the controls because, again, they are tight. So, yeah, that's 3 chairs because the B button, shit's busted, yo.
Yeah, the controls are nice, and tight, but how much more can you have? It's 2 buttons and arrows. That's it. How could you cock that up? There's no button prompts for the PS4 controller. But I still got button prompts even though this thing was not plugged in at all. It was just a keyboard and gerbil. However, the circle B button works in menus just fine for the PS4 controller, so I don't know. But I am going to give it 3 chairs because the button prompts just, no. Look, if I'm got no controller or if I've pressed a button on the keyboard, that's what I'm using.
Hey, man, this game is so advanced, it is predicting that you might plug in a controller.
Yeah, I doubt that.
But I think at the end of the day, I'm also might predict that it's going to get 3 chairs for your controls. Now, gentlemen, real quick, let's make it fast. Fun. Did we have fun with it? Pedro, you love this game.
No, I didn't. Now, it's not to say that I don't like shmups. I do. Probably, well, I say I do. The last shmup I really, really did enjoy in this particular genre, like the spaceship on a vertical plane, this particular kind of shmup, the last one I really enjoyed was back in 1997, was Demon Star, and that was a 3.3 megabyte game, which to this day I still think was the best shmup out there. This game, by comparison, is 1.2 gigabytes. So, I don't know.
And this affects
I've
the
mentioned
game quality
plenty of
fucking
times.
how?
It doesn't affect the game quality. It affects how much time it took me to download versus my enjoyment that I got out of it, because I didn't really get enjoyment out of it. I've mentioned plenty of times how I don't like trial and error in level design. Now, granted, this was not their intention. They didn't make this game to be trial and error. It just turns into trial and error the moment you realize that you just teleported into what you thought was safe, but was just a slightly darker asteroid that is very much in the foreground, and your ship just blew up. That is what pissed me off. That is what got me to say, no, I can't deal with this shit anymore after 70 minutes, and I went and did something else. So, I didn't like it.
Seems legit.
At all.
Foxy?
Same. Well, you want to make me angry? This is the game that makes me angry. For a few things. Most shooters, including like the really good ones that I like Jets and Guns and Gradius, if you run into an obstacle, you do not blow up. You bounce off it with a little bit less health. This, you also just a little kiss on it. Just a little peck on the cheek and you explode. It's just, no, that's how you make me frustrated. And couple on top of that, you got the live system, which is 3 lives, and you're done. You've got to redo the whole thing again, which makes the checkpoint system just pointless. So, is it hard? No, because I am good at shooters. I can do them very well. It's just that this one, I'm warping into a block. I thought I was going to miss a block, but I didn't. It's just, let's put it this way. I never actually died to the actual enemies in the game. I only ever died to running into crap. So, because of that frustration, because of that tiny little thing there of those obstacles, and the fact that, well, it seemed a little bit empty compared to the classics like Gradius and Jets and Guns. It's just, no. 1 chair for me.
All right. That's cool. I mean, both of you seem to have issues with the one interesting mechanic that this game brings to the table is the warp ability. It really triggers some new shit in your brain organ. It makes you think a little bit different. It's not something that's natural, and it is there to fuck with you. I had to restart this game on hard since normal was too fucking easy for me, man. You know, that's what I was thinking. At least it has that live system. Little bit of a challenge. Mind you, I get a little Rain Man when I get into the zone. I got some video recorded too that I might actually put in my review after watching Pedro's playthrough of schooling this damn game. It brings fun bits to the table to me. I like the limited energy mechanic. You just can't hold and spam your fire button and swing your fiery dick around and just try to wipe the table. That's pretty cool. I'm digging that. Dimension Drive, as I just mentioned, straight up forces you to rethink things. Yeah, all right, you got to learn what you can and cannot hit. Yeah, you will end up dying by warping into the wrong spot. That's there by design, though. Hate to break that to you.
Bad design.
I'm sorry, Cupcake. The backwards spin around shoot.
I don't like it.
I'm gonna. All right. Okay, I'll continue. The backwards time slowdown mechanic, it's pretty cool. It's evil. They force you to use it. Then again, I do come from this Nintendo generation. Not Generation Candy ass that holds up Dark Souls as some shining example of a difficult fucking game. Does this game make me rage quit? Oh, hells yes. Absolutely. But I do believe every single time I had a little bit of a smile on my face. And it came back. Now, I'm not saying the game's great. I'm not. I think it's a little overpriced for what it is. I think Pedro has some very valid points. I also think Foxy has 2 or 3, possibly. But I can't agree that it's a completely shit game, because I personally think that the thing you're hating on is what this game does best. It fucks with you.
No. That's not it at all. That's not what I'm hitting on it for. I'm hitting on it on the basically being unable to tell foreground from background on more than one occasion. I'm hitting on it being okay. I've said this time and time again. I don't hate on a game because it's difficult or because I'm not good at it. I don't hate on games for that. I love roguelikes, and I am terrible at those, and they are, by definition, very difficult. But I like roguelikes, and I didn't like this game because it felt stupid at some points, because I was teleporting into, okay, I think I'm safe here. Nope, that was an asteroid. All right, fuck this. I'm out. Nope, not having it.
I'm just glad I got Strider to bitch about Dark Souls. That's the only reason I threw it in there. Because it's like hurting Moss. You just know that shit's going to happen. He's just like action reaction. It's so fucking predictable. So, all right. At the end of the day, we add all this stuff up. And again, this is how we curate. This is our experience with the game. It works. You can give it 2.
Mm-hmm. It's not a terrible game. It could be better, but it's not a terrible game.
All right.
They could have done a lot more with it.
Maybe they could. Maybe they could have spent some more time in early access. But a lot of times we're like, hey, man, you spent too long in early access. But I think it's competent. $12.99, a little bit cheaper than your standard $14.99. So, and it got a price to sell. I think if you like things that make you angry, even if you dislike it for the same reasons that Foxy and Pedro disliked, this game will deliver the anger, period. One way or the other, life will find a way.